This tutorial will cover how to create a revision for a bandwidth upgrade. There are three places in Granite that will need to be updated: the segment, the router port, and the path. We're going to begin with the segment. Under the site, you will put the location you are wanting to change. We are going to use South Bend School District for an example. Enter, and you will see the segment appear. You'll double click. This is now 30 megabit bandwidth, and we want to verify what it is going to be changed to. You will either have received an email from a vendor, other documentation, or in this case, we are going to look in Puma. And we can see here that South Bend is now been upgraded to 100 megabits. So this is what we're going to change. Back on the segment screen, we will modify the segment. It will open up the field so that it can be changed. There are a couple of ways you can change this. By highlighting, you can put in just a 1, and you'll see that it comes up. You can use your up and down arrows to go to the bandwidth you're looking for, or you can use the bandwidth selector, the magnifying glass, and use the drop down to choose it this way. Once you have it updated, then we will just save and close. It will come up with a message saying that either the A or Z side termination is incomplete. Do you want to continue? And yes, you do. The telco side will always be incomplete since we do not have their information. So yes. Next, we will move on to equipment. We will go into the shelf, and we will put the router name in the ID. We will verify in Puma that the router is the Alidiscore 1. So we will just copy this and place it in the ID field, enter, and double click on the router that you are looking for. Once again, back in Puma, we can see that the port we are looking for is on GE 1-2-5.990. So we will come back here, go to slot 1, double click, and we can see that on slots and subcards there's a little icon here showing there's information, so we will click on this, and we will go to MIC1, and here we can see all of the ports, and we will look for the one 990. That is South Bend, and as you see, it is 30 megabytes. We will double click and then modify so that the field will open, and again we want to change it to 100, so we will use our arrows to change it to the 100 megabytes, and save and close. If we scroll down, we can see that it has now been updated. The next step will be to go to the path. We'll double click on path. Again, on the Z side, you will put in the site that you are wanting to update, South Bend. This is the path we are looking for. That can be verified, if you like, by the CDR number here, and it will also appear in Puma as well. In order for this field to open up, we must remove the router and the Ethernet aggregation IP path lines. So first we're going to create a revision. So we will modify. We will go to Tools, Create Revision, and the screen will pop up. We will need to put in the effective date. You can use the calendar, or by double-clicking, it will put in today's date, depending on the date you want to use. Most instances, you will be using today's date. The status will only be ordered for now. It asks if you want to copy the child assignments to the next revision. Yes, you do. All of these assignments should be on the revision. So, OK. You're going to receive a warning that says the decommission date has arrived. Do you want to delete the path? Yes, you do, in this instance, so that we can use the revision to work from. The revision path will then pop up, and you will modify that. You can notice that the bandwidth field is not open yet because we need to remove the router and the Ethernet aggregation IP path. So highlight both of these, and then we will go over to Remove Selected Elements and click on it. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to remove them from the path? Yes, we do. Once they are gone, then the bandwidth field opens up, and we can change the bandwidth to the 100 megabits that we need. Now we will save and close. It's going to ask you, do you want to delete this? Do you want to delete this path? Yes, we do. And we want to change the status to decommissioned. OK. And it will move it to the archive file. Now on the Z side, we will go in again, put in South Bend, enter, and you will see that our revision has now appeared, revision 2 of 2. We need to modify this now, and we see that it is the 100 megabits we need, but we do need to add back the router and the IP path. So first we're going to highlight the Ethernet access segment, and we want the IP path to be above this. So we will use this tool. It says Insert Before Selected Element. We will come down to Parent Path, select IP, and then you will need to remove the bandwidth, and under Category, select Ethernet Aggregation and hit the binoculars. And this is the one that we are going to be looking at because we know that it's in Olympia. So we will select this and bring it in. As it's highlighted, we will now need to bring in the router port. So we want it to be above that line as well. So we are going to click on Equipment Port. We already know we want the Olympia node site, so we will search. And we know that it's on OLEDIS Core 1. And we know that it is on 990. If we look over, we should see that this is what we are looking for here, South Bend K12. So we'll say OK, and it will insert it above. You will also need to double check this by clicking on the plus sign. It will open up the IP path, and you can verify that both are on the same ports here. cards. And also you should verify the bandwidth here. Scroll over, verify the router and the segment are both at the 100 megabits that you're needing. Then you can go in and active, change the status, and you would be able to then save and close, and you have completed the bandwidth upgrade. Thank you.